just start by thanking you, Taylor, for taking the time to chat with us, the Christian Beat, all about the latest news for yourself and Cain and everything that's coming up.
Yay! Well, thank you for the time. I'm excited. It's fun when there's actually cool things to talk about coming up in your life. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. So the probably the most recent is the "I'm So Blessed" book that came out just last week. I think actually was the release. So do you want to talk a
Yes.
little bit first? I guess why that song is the song that inspired the book, or vice versa, or how it came to be.
Yes. Yes. The first question is, how is this song still going on? That's that's how I feel. I feel like this song is so old. I mean, this "I'm So Blessed" was written in like 2020. That's when the idea came about. But it's funny. I'm a mom of a 2-year old now. Stevie turned 2 yesterday, and then we have a baby on the way in November. And I'm So Blessed has just picked up, like, it's just sparked a new life in our household. My daughter loves that song. That's the one she wants to hear. She knows every word. And honestly, it's like rekindled my love for the song and like what it even means. And it's made me think even more about, okay, what was I talking about when I said on my worst day, I'm a child of God? And it's been so fun to hear her sing that. But um, I think the idea was just kind of presented to us when people and kids especially started to latch on to the message of "I'm so blessed." We we found out we were all having kids kind of the same year, and it was like, okay, well, what would this look like to have a kids book? I know for me, I was on my way to a baby shower, and it was a baby shower for me, but other moms involved too. It was really fun. It was like a collab, and they were like, "No cards, please, just books." And it was like, okay, the book that I bring is going to say everything about what I want this kid to know and read. It almost felt like way too much pressure. Um, but it made me think like there's so much literature for kids and so much out there that I was like, do I want to leave them with that message if they get one kind of thing from me? Like, what am I leaving with them? So I really was like, okay, I think we should give this a shot and we should really try to say, okay, that simple message, I think it's resonating with kids and it's resonating with parents too. So let's see if there's something to this. And then when we got into it, it's almost embarrassing how much I loved the process of writing this book. I loved being I am a fruit. I am a fruit of the spirit, sort of, with bell bottoms and hats and crochet blankets and all the fun stuff. I think it was really fun that the branding of like who we are as a band already. It felt so natural to just go into this lane, the big 70 stripes and um oh my gosh, the illustrator, she just nailed it. We just sent in, kind of some inspo pics and like, okay, we want to be fruit. This is weird. How can we be fruit and not be scary? Not be weird. Um, and but like her first rough back, it was like, this is gonna be really magical. So um yeah, that's kind of a lot that I'm throwing at you, but I think I feel like the song definitely inspired the book, but the book is going to be really fun and I hope it takes on a new life. I'm really glad that our kids like reading it because they're tough critics. They're so honest, they're so blunt. Um, but it seems like the read is easy for them and they can't read yet, but they're starting to memorize, what comes on each page.
Mm-hmm.
And without spoiling it, it's really fun that each character. So I'm Tay Tay Tangerine, and then my brother is Logo Lemon, and then Madison is Maddie Melon. She's a watermelon, and each character has a storyline. And um, I am devastated because my really best day gets ruined by a storm. And so you're trying to navigate that. And then Logan's is ruined by embarrassment. which is such a like interesting topic, you know, as they grow. Like Logan really struggled with that as a kid. And Madison's is her friends forgot her birthday, which is like tragic when you're a kid and when you don't get invited to a party. Or so it was fun. And it just made you kind of think back on like what are some things that really impacted you as a kid that just were like hard to deal with when you're like 2 through 8 or 10, you know.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm just a big fan of the book. It's so easy to talk about because we really did. We went over every detail and really poured ourselves into this book. So I'm excited for people to see it.
For sure. And I was going to ask how much of that creation process just felt like an extension of like songwriting and the music creation, but you also, it was also something new too.
Yes. Girl, what a good question, because I was a stickler, Madison and myself for sure, about each line, the rhythm and the meter. It needs to feel like you would need to read it out loud and
Mhm.
see just the way that you sing it. You can tell when something doesn't rhyme and it, you know, juts out or it's uncomfortable. So it was, yeah, it was very similar, I felt like, to, you know, writing a song, which is good because at first it was like, I'm not an author. I actually was so bad in school in English and anything writing wise. So this was cool that, you know, what God's gifted us with, we were able to use and pour into the book creatively too. So and the book is fun because there's parts where the kids get to sing. So I'm hoping that they'll maybe, you know, hopefully this book, the goal for me would be that it goes into the hands of parents that maybe they're not even Christians, maybe they're not even looking for a gospel or religious book, but because the colors and the fun, the pictures and the characters, or maybe they're gifted this book, but when they open it up, there's a way for you to go and find the song as well. And oh, that would just be like what an added bonus that not only we get to encourage believers, but if there's people who don't know, maybe through their kids or it just gets into their home,
Mhm.
that would be amazing. That's kind of my prayer through this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, another question, would you do it again?
Oh, okay. I definitely would,
Okay.
but it's almost like what song, like I don't know, it almost felt so perfect because of the colors and the message and like just everything about it. Um it's almost like if could I write a serious book? I don't know. It almost feels like the three of us are just cartoon characters anyway in our real life. So, um, what do you think? Do you think? I mean, I think the answer is yes, but gosh, what song? It would all have to be right.
Yeah, I was curious if it was something that you would want to take that song further, or if it was you would have to have another song that like resonated with you just like that I'm so blessed did and kind of built
Yeah.
there. I was just curious.
No, I mean, I love that. Something that I'm really passionate about too is like when I moved to Nashville. I was right out of college. One of the best things I ever did was like I got plugged into a small group at a church, and they would all, I loved it because they would always go through a Bible study. It wasn't like you just got together and kind of like talked about your feelings, which is fine, but it was amazing that we always had some type of curriculum or something to go through. And certain Bible studies to this day stand out in my mind. They were like defining for me in that age and like season of life that I was going through.
Mhm.
So I feel really passionate about doing some type of Bible study, like an actual study. But I mean, I can't imagine like how much time it took for a kid's book and then to like I wonder, I'm just gonna have to have some big time help, some people that know what they're doing that can help. But I'm really interested in that. And I feel like, you know, maybe some of your listening family and audience, they're like, oh yeah, we love doing a good Bible study. And Yeah, those are fun to go through if you've ever gone through them with a group of people. So I don't know, but I need to see what song and what kind of motivates me. But I definitely, that's on my bucket list. I want to do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And I know that we've spent a lot of time in the book, and I'm so blessed. But that isn't the only thing that the group has released this summer as well, because you did have that deluxe album too that came out. Um,
Yes.
do you want to just talk a little bit about what that project means and why you wanted to have that, that re-release and extension of it, and share that?
Yes. Um, just being totally vulnerable. I'm like, part of me at the beginning was like, why do people re-release songs that they've already done? I was like, when the idea was presented, I was kind of like I just want new stuff. I'm moving
Uh-huh.
on. But I'm really thankful that we did. And I feel like Jesus music is so special to me. This album, like our first album, everything tells a story, but this project, I'm really proud of it. And it's hard for me to listen to our own music, honestly, but this one, my daughter really likes it. I just connected to all the songs, and it's almost like the track listing. It's really cool because we had done a live worship project. It was like an EP when we
Hmm.
were pregnant, me and Madison with our oldest kids. And I really wanted those songs to come with us on this journey that we're on. And there were two in particular that really stood out, Friend and Jesus, and then Praise Opens Prison Doors. And what's cool about that is we wrote that song with Chris Tomlin. Love him so much. Can't believe that happened. And he sang on a version of that song with us, which is really cool. And so I think it's just like as time goes on, you just don't want things to be left behind. I really wanted to bring them on. So in a way, the deluxe, what I thought was going to be like, oh, this is going to be boring. It turned into so many cool things happened with the commission. As we played that song live, I mean, that song was written, I think, in 2019. And what's crazy is that, as we've played it out and played it for crowds and people have heard it on the radio, you kind of start to morph the way that you perform it. It takes on a new life for you.
Hmm.
And so by the time this came around, I was like, I sing this completely differently than how we did when we first recorded it. I didn't
Hmm.
even know that song or what it really meant to me back then. So that has been really fun. And then I'm so blessed. The new music video for the Sunday morning choir version comes out tomorrow.
Okay.
And I am so happy about this version. And kind of in the same way, I found out this information, but I'm so blessed as our top song played in churches everywhere, which is so that is never what I would have thought. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You sometimes you have like Rise Up and Yes You Can and your most polished, Friend in Jesus, your most polished songs that you're like, oh yeah, the church, they are gonna love that one. And then for it to be I'm so blessed, that was total shock to me. But I love that. And so what we wanted to do was give people a chance. When we play this song live, kind of same thing. We stop the song and go into a full ministry hype moment and just take people to church right then and there. So that's kind of what we wanted to do with this version. So I'm really thankful that there's a space for these versions where you're honestly getting, if you listen to those, you're getting a way more personal version of the song than what was even released years ago. So um yeah, I love the deluxe, and we have a deluxe vinyl. Oh, so cool. I think the vinyl itself is actually going to be tie-dye, which is just so great. So anyways, it's awesome. I'm thankful that my bad attitude about it at first didn't win out, because this is actually a really cool project.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And it's always interesting to me to hear how songs can transform for the artist too, because You start even in a normal, recording and writing to releasing period of time, so much can change. But especially when you have it around for years and years, it's, it makes sense that it would change with you as you go through life. So those are always interesting to hear about.
Right. Yes, I know. That's so cool to me. I love that.
Absolutely. Well, I know we're getting close to time, but I did want to just leave you with one final congratulations for all of the Dove Award nominations that came out as well. I'm sure
Thank
that you
you.
are quite excited about those, but just wanted to, let you reflect on that and then any other items that you wanted to share with listeners before we drop off.
Nice. Well, thank you. First of all, I just appreciate like you knowing stuff about us and just asking great questions. I feel like hopefully your listeners are getting to know a different side of Cain than what they've maybe seen before. But yeah, I remember watching the Dove Awards as a kid. I never thought in my wildest dreams that we would be a part of such a cool thing. Just this whole like Christian music, I think I hold that in such high regard that I can't believe that we are included in like this amazing community.
Mhm.
Um, and just to be nominated, I'm going into it and I'm just like, how could we win up against the people that we're nominated with? So I don't even expect anything, but it's so, so amazing. It's so fun. And I'm already planning out, okay, what do we want to wear? I want to go all out each time. You never know. You're like, when's it going to be my last? I'm just treating it like we're just going out with a bang every time. Um, but yeah, it's so amazing. I love it. I don't even we're discussing what we're gonna perform on the Dove Awards. So
Mhm.
I wish I could tell you as a secret, but I don't even know it yet. So I'm
You have
like,
what, a month or two to still figure that
yeah, gosh, it's just that deadline just comes in quick for what are you guys gonna play? I'm like, okay,
out?
it's gonna hit me. It's gonna hit me any minute. No, but yeah, I'm so excited. I remember when we first got signed and we got to write with my hero, Stephen Curtis Chapman. I
Mhm.
remember being in his studio and just seeing all his Dove Awards that he has out. And gosh, I just was like, oh, okay. In your mind, you just think you'll never be a part of that or like how. So it's really amazing that we get to go be a part and be in the room with all these amazing, talented artists. But yeah, we coming up. I'm already getting ready for fall tour. We're going out with Zach Williams, and if your family, your listening audience wants to be praying for anything, we got two pregnant girls out on tour, and we just need to finish these tours without anything crazy happening on the road. No, no babies coming before their time. That's just something in my mind of like, okay, we want all of our kids, everybody to be safe, and just finish finish these tours well, finish this year up, and then we get to like have some off time for Christmas. So looking
For
forward to
sure.
that.
For sure. Well, I just want to thank you again, Taylor, for chatting with us. Really appreciated it.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you for yeah, all the great questions.